Hi guys, I'm Gasha. Welcome to this channel and welcome as always to our coffee times to discuss movies and horror. And today I bring you yet another horror movie that touches the topic of social media. I'm here today to talk to you about Follow Her.
It's coffee time!
This is officially labeled as a psychosexual thriller, and I was quite intrigued. It is also directed and written by a woman, and I was really curious to see the perspective on the movie when it comes to the social media aspect and what they did with it, if they did something new. And it's also a lower budget movie, so I just wanted to see what they would bring me with a movie like this, with a title like this. And honestly, I didn't know much when I went into it, and I ended up kind of enjoying it more than I thought. I think it is definitely a movie that will leave you with a lot of thoughts. So today I'm here to talk to you about the movie, as always, completely spoiler free. It is written by Dani Barker, who also plays the main character in the film, and I thought that her input in the movie was one of the best things of the film. The main characters were what made this movie for me enjoyable. It is a new psychological horror thriller that has a simple story but has a lot of surprises, and it was just released on VOD on the 2nd of June. The movie has a runtime of 95 minutes, so it ensures that you don't get bored, and it does keep for the whole 95 minutes quite entertaining, and there is different shifts in tone and also when it comes to twists and turns. So let's talk about it. For the majority of the 95 minutes, the movie keeps you engaged and it keeps giving you tonal changes as well as twists and turns, and it's one of those movies that is gonna have questioning you what's real, what you're actually watching. A struggling actress responds to a mysterious classified ad and soon finds herself trapped in her new boss's twisted revenge fantasy. Our main character is Jess, and she is trying to make her money on social media. There are some pages in the internet that basically post videos of sketchy, creepy men that offer weird job listings, and what Jess does is respond to the job listings, go there, film everything, and then post it online to kind of make fun, poke fun of these creeps and their fetishes. But she also always does it in a way that the man's face is blurred because she cannot really expose anybody. For her next episode, she has been hired to go to a remote location to help a writer finish the script of his next upcoming film. The ad obviously looks too good to be true, and we all know that Jess should not be going there, but we are nevertheless in a psychological horror thriller, so we know she's gonna go. The money is too good, so Jess, even though she has to go by herself, decides to go. And what I liked about this movie is that at times it is kind of pushing those ethical boundaries when it comes to social media. When she gets there, she meets the director of the film, the guy that is writing the movie, and they have a really awkward interaction from the very beginning. The guy reminded me a lot to the movie Creep. I feel like if you have enjoyed movies like Creep, you will enjoy probably this one as well. One of the best things that the movie has to offer is the interaction between these two main characters, the back and forth between them, and how you as the viewer are always questioning who is right, who is wrong, and what are the true intentions of these two individuals. The movie becomes then quickly a kind of like a cat and mouse game where we see them kind of bouncing off of each other as characters. And like I said, this is one of my favorite things of the film, is seeing the dynamic between the two main characters. There is something, to be honest, about this type of creepy guys that is so compelling and you need to keep watching. Like with the movie Creep, it is a very basic, straightforward story at the end of the day, but the main character makes it so creepy and engaging that you just cannot stop watching, and I had kind of like the same feeling with this one. Some of the scenes of the movie were shot through phone cameras or the laptop or stuff like that, so it does have a little bit, I say, found footage vibe at times. Sometimes you get to see the streams are being posted online in websites and stuff like that. Follow Her has a lot of pop references, and it's also quite meta. And also it has a main character, Jez, that it is a little bit unreliable. I feel like all the characters in this movie are kind of like in a gray area. They are unreliable characters, and you don't know what they are actually hiding or what their intentions are, not even with Jez, but you also feel really uncomfortable for her, for the situation. So I thought the tension that they were building was effective. You're going to be all the time absolutely questioning everything. Things you thought were gonna go one way, you're starting to question if that's actually what the movie is doing. So I thought that kept the movie entertaining for me. I think the director made a really good job at keeping us kind of in the dark for the majority of the time, like keeping us trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together, building up that tension. And I love how they were, you know, using all of the horror tropes. We have Jez, that it's going in a train traveling by herself, and the train travel is already kind of eerie and spooky. There's not many people in the train. Then she gets to these abandoned place where she meets this guy, and she's by herself. Then this guy tells her, oh, you know, if you want to see the script for the movie that I have, you can come to my house, I will show it to you. Of course she agrees to go with a stranger, and she crosses through the woods to this weird looking barn. She thinks it's okay to go in there. So it's really interesting how the movie is relying on a lot of these tropes, but at the same time we are aware that Jez knows that what she's doing is dangerous and she should not be doing it, which I thought was great, because a lot of the characters that follow these tropes, they are presented as naive or trusty, and they are not really worried. And I like that Jez is worried. You can see in her face that she knows what she's doing is really dangerous, and at least, even though they are relying on those horror tropes, they're kind of making it real. Follow Her is not a bloody or gory horror movie. It is more of a psychological horror, and it is more about how far would you go in order to push your videos, your views, for content creation, the things that you would be willing to do. I have recently seen many things in the news about creators that have got themselves in jail, or even there was this Asian guy that, I think in something similar to TikTok but in Asia, he did a challenge of drinking I don't know how many liters of alcohol like in a very short period of time, and he passed away shortly after that. And I think sometimes we are pushing way too far the boundaries of what is ethical and what it is correct for creating content and getting popular in social media. So here we have Jez that it's willing to put herself in a situation where she's very vulnerable with a stranger in a barn in the middle of nowhere. There's also no phone reception there, so she's willing to do all of that for her content, for the money, and for getting more views. So that's something to think about. So I think by the end of the movie, you are going to question your view on social media and the things that you would be willing to do for getting a viral video online. At the end of the day, I decided to give this movie a 2.5 out of 5 because I do feel like you should guys give it a chance. It is a low budget, a female created film, and I think it was fun. It had interesting twists and turns. The ending might not be for everybody, but I really enjoyed how the movie wrapped up, to be honest. But even though it might not be for everybody, I thought this movie was kind of thought-provoking film. It had very good performances, and I think it's a great psychological thriller. So yeah, if you have not seen it yet, I do recommend you guys to give it a watch and let me know please what you thought of it. I would be also really interested to know if you guys enjoyed the ending or not. Please don't put any spoilers in the comments for people that have not seen the movie yet, but do let me know if you watched it and enjoyed the ending. Alright you guys, thank you as always so much for watching, and I hope to see you all as always in our next coffee time. Bye!